Before I begin, I just want to say that this is not one of those videos where I tell you, hey, sign up and you will be a great trader or whatever. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Um, I do run a business or a service where we help traders, but again, this isn't one of those videos. Okay, so I'm not here to tell you that if you take our classes or whatever, you'll be great. So this is I'm I'm on this process right now where I'm taking actually extended break from everything, and I'm just trading my own stuff and doing things outside of the company itself. I've been doing this for 12 years, so I think it's a well-deserved break for a while. So I'm taking the next year really off. So what I'm planning to do, because I still have so many ideas rushing through my head, is I'm gonna use making these videos to kind of reflect upon trading and trading in general. So it may help you, it may not help you. I could care less. It's just something for me to kind of, express my thoughts and all that. So again, I'm not selling you anything. I'm not asking you to listen so that you can get the holy grail of trading. It's just my thoughts and my reflections on trading. Okay, so everybody always wants to know, how do you succeed in trading. I think let's just kind of address the very main important question: what makes a good trader, right? So I certainly, for me, I measure my success in terms of profitability, right? If I am profitable week after week, month after month, year after year, I would probably say I'm doing okay as a trader. I'm actually succeeding as a trader, right? I think if you continue to blow up your account, obviously you're not doing well. So what makes a good trader? It really does depend upon each person, right? Because some people are day traders, some people are swing traders, some people do different things, like I said. So I think what you will find, though, if you're gonna do a Venn diagram of successful traits or traits of successful traders, I think what will probably intersect across all different guys or girls is discipline, right? The people who are very good at trading are the most disciplined people on earth, right? You see a trade, if it doesn't work, you get out. That there requires discipline, and I think a lot of people do struggle in that field because most people will think, oh, it's okay, I'm gonna wait for a bit, maybe it'll work, and it probably continues to balloon into a bigger loss, and people end up getting really pissed off, and then we'll start blaming the whole world for their misfortunes, right? So that's how I see it. um, you may have a different way. I think if you've attended enough seminars or webinars from people who are doing well, I think they'll tell you discipline, discipline, discipline. Simplification. I think the second thing is simplification. You can't have like 7 billion indicators in your charts, right? You gotta make it as simple as possible, because across everything, or if you strip everything down or away, it is just a binary decision whether you buy or you sell something, right? So for example, you got Amazon in front of you here. You got a choice. You can buy it or sell it because you think it's down, maybe it'll go down. So ultimately, again, what it boils down to is, do you have a system that you're happy with, and is that system good enough for you to trust, right? So it all boils into discipline, and then of course simplification. And I think by extension, experience does come a long way, right? So some people cut down on the learning curve by getting a mentor, and then some people hate having a mentor because they think most of the mentors are just out there to get their money. Again, there's a group of people who hate mentors because they think they're scammers. Then there's a group of people who actually believe in mentors because they don't want to make the same mistakes as other people. Whichever group you belong to, it's up to you. Like I said, I don't care. So you really have to really look at, what works for you, right? For me, I did the professional route, right? I worked, in the investment world, and I had a mentor. Well, it's kind of mandatory to have a mentor, really, aka a supervisor or a floor manager. And they check on your progress and send you to training and seminars and everything. But if you're just starting trading on your own, right? You may not be from a finance background, and you're doing this. Obviously, you're going to be overwhelmed. You probably have bought a book, or you probably are reading some guy's blog, or you're watching, the many thousands of videos on YouTube on trading, and you're probably thinking, who here actually knows what they're doing? Who's a scammer? Who's a liar? Who's actually doing well? You may think our company is a scam. I mean, like I said, a lot of people opinions are aplenty in this industry, right? So you know, I'm just telling you what I've seen, right, across people who are doing well. Like, I mean, people I know personally who are doing well with trading, and of course the people who are, professionals, right? Nobody has, nobody can ever claim that they've never had mistakes in trading. I mean, if you're following a guy who's never made a mistake in trading, please give me his or her number, because I'd like to give him like millions of dollars for him to teach me how to trade. So, you know, it's one of those things. Like I said, every time I fly, whether it's on vacation or whatever, and I talk to people, and I tell them that what I do, the first thing they always ask, are you profitable, right? So it's always funny, like I said, because that's already the mentality ingrained in across the world, that everybody who goes to the stock market or the futures market or the forex market, they're all out to be raped. They're all out for their money to be stolen, and that's why everybody's like, are you profitable, right? And it's a sad thing. It really is a sad thing, because it's kind of like if you were born and the world already thinks you're an asshole, right? You're just a baby and you're already an ass. Everybody already thinks you're an asshole. So that's sort of the rep that everybody gets, whoever trades, that you're probably losing money 90% of the time. Because again, the statistic hasn't changed over the last 3 or 4 decades. 90% of people still lose money. That hasn't changed. Whether we've already, regardless of whether we have now smartphones, super fast computers, super fast internet. I mean, we have fiber optic, 1000 Mbps, 1 gigabit per second internet connections. Still, people are losing a lot of money. So you gotta decide, right? If this is the kind of life you really wanna, go into, you really have to decide whether you are cut out for it, right? And I think much of that is, some sort of introspection is definitely needed for you to review if this is something you want, right? So, in the coming weeks, months, I'm gonna post random videos where, when I get inspired, I'll talk, and I'll post videos. These are all free. I mean, like I said, I'm not telling you anything. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not selling you a service. Nothing like that. I'm just giving out my thoughts, inspired thoughts about, my journey as a trader. Taking a wonderful break, just going back to the basics, right? I've taught so many people over the last several years, and I think for me, I've kind of reached that limit. If it was a normal, if this was an occupation, I'd probably have reached the burnt out stage where I'm just like, it's probably time for me to kind of take a step back and just concentrate on me. And yeah, so that's sort of where we're at, right? And I think it's always funny, like I said, whenever I meet a person who wants to be a trader. I mean, all of them have good intentions. They want to do well because they want to, they want to support their family, they want to get rich, whatever. Nobody goes to trading to be poor. Nobody goes to trading because they're a saint. So we all go into trading to be rich, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, being rich is not a crime. It's not a sin either. Um, but there's always, with anything, there's always, it's all about balance, right? And I think for me, I'm doing my best. Like, I've gotten to the point now where I trade an hour, 2 hours a day, and then I spend the rest of the day with family, friends, everyone else. If you're just starting out, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be thinking about spending 6, 7 hours a day, or in a weekend, really learning this stuff, right? And that's understandable. You have to undertake the learning phase, and you have to also beat that learning curve, right? And that's always how it works. But I'm just telling you now, across the facts are, you gotta be disciplined. You gotta have a system you trust, and most of all, you gotta make things simple, right? If you're following a person who you think is a good trader, and they're using 7,000 indicators in their charts, I really hope that it's working for you, right? For me, I don't ever judge what people do.
I've met people who do weird things and yet still make money, right? I've got a guy who counts the number of days before they trade, and it's been working for them. So I basically judge a person's success on their profitability. If you tell me that you're trading on horoscopes and you're making money, then I would basically say, yeah, you're doing it well. You're doing well. You're doing good. And, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. So, it's all about discipline, I think, and in terms of, and I think whoever you know who is doing well will probably tell you the same thing. Whoever you know who isn't doing well, you'll probably know why they're not doing well. They're probably very impulsive. They're probably they get angry very easily. Trading in itself, right? Nobody is looking at your progress. You are policing yourself. And that's what's so difficult about trading, because you got to police yourself. You got to monitor yourself. And a lot of people struggle with that because, let's face it, most people just don't have any self control. That's just how it is. And, it takes a lot, and it takes a lot of mistakes for sure, to teach people that what they're doing isn't right anymore. And they have to figure out a way to to beat all the problems, and to actually stop making the same mistakes, right? So ultimately, again, as a trader, you have to figure out what works for you, because if things are definitely, if you're at the point now, we're almost up to the half year mark of 2018, right? So if you've been trading for just 6 months or a year and you're not doing well, you really got to introspect. And if you find that you don't have the discipline, you lack whatever, you lack the interest, the passion, or whatever, then I think there's your answer, right? That it's, unless you are able to solve that problem, stop losing money, right? Because that money, there's that saying, there's a saying in Asia where, it's so hard to make money, but it's so easy to lose it or spend it, right? So I'm not gonna speak Chinese to do the proverb, but you get the point that money is so easily spent. And if you're gonna go on the path of trial and error, you better accept that you're gonna encounter a lot of issues across, along the way, until you probably figure it out. It might take a year, it might take a few years, who knows, until you figure out what really works for you, right? So I hope that makes sense. Again, I'll do my best to keep these videos as short as possible, because people do hate, people rambling on and stuff. But I'll do my best to, to upload videos and podcasts where when I'm feeling inspired. But so I'll have different topics. Like I said, there's no set format or anything. It's basically when I feel like talking. And yeah, so I hope you find, if you're doing well as a trader, congratulations. I'm very, very happy for you. If you're struggling, figure it out. Figure it out quickly, especially if you have a partner who doesn't understand your trading life and your trading suffering, because they're gonna lose patience. I mean, I've been there before. I've had a girlfriend before who does not understand this business, and I was still in my first few years of trading, and I wasn't doing as well as I thought I would. And eventually she left me. It is what it is, right? So be careful. This business can definitely kill you if you let it. You have to figure it out. And if it doesn't work for you, it's okay. At least you've tried. You can move on. There are so many other things they can do to make you a millionaire. There really are. So, basically, the message is discipline and self control. If you have none of those, develop them, and then maybe go into something else. Invest in yourself, right? You gotta invest in yourself. You can't be rich if you're not gonna start doing something to really make yourself, put yourself in a better place. That's just how it is. Okay, so I hope everybody, who's listening to this are as well. Take care, and until next time, guys. Mike out.